In this video, we will introduce and review some features of Google Chrome. Mastery of Google Chrome is crucial to expand your capabilities and increase your productivity when using Google applications, extensions, or any of the multiple tools that Google offers. Now, let's start getting into Chrome. Chrome is a valuable tool, as we mentioned, because it enables smooth interactions between all the other software and add-ons and extensions that Google can access. Now, first thing we're going to talk about with Chrome is signing into Chrome. Signing into Chrome, the browser, is different than what you're used to, where you just sign into an email and you pull up your email account and manage all of your email. Since our account is a lot more broad and encompassing a lot more features of Google Docs, we actually will sign into Chrome, which will enable us to have what I like to call a traveling homepage, where we're going to set this browser up for our specific uses at work, at school, or for personal reasons. And once it is set up, we will be able to access that browser and all of those settings from any computer we use. Gone are the days where you set your bookmarks up on one computer at work and then go home and they are gone. Let's get started. We'll sign into this account here if you have the page. If not, I'm going to go up top to the settings menu. And the very first option is to sign in. I'm going to click the button to sign into Chrome, and it'll ask me for my password for the account I wish to sign in as. Now, once I press next, I'll be presented with a series of options where it wants me to sync Chrome, bookmarks, passwords, history, and other settings so that they can be accessed on all your devices or any other computer that you sign into temporarily. Let's press OK. At this point, it may ask you for an option, depending if you've logged in or not, if you want to link your data. If you do see that screen, yes, you do indeed want to stop and link your data to this browser and account. Now that we're in our settings menu, we will go over some of the settings and options you can change to customize the Chrome browser to your specific needs. Once set up and tweaked out to your specifications, it should increase the way you interact with your documents, browse the web, create documents, and overall interact on the internet with your specific tasks. Now, since this is a work login for me, I will be isolating my tasks for work. Signing into a browser is also a great way to separate email and documents from a personal account to a work account. If you needed to, you could sign out of this Google account, which is a school account for me, and then go ahead and sign into a personal address and set up all those same bookmarks on the personal side that will not interact with the side of your Chrome work browser. So the first option we're going to do is on startup, we have an option to start a new tab, continue where left off, or open specific set of pages. If we continue where we left off, we're just simply going to go back to the last page that we were on when we closed the browser. We're going to click on open a specific page or set of pages, and now we're going to click set pages. Right now I have one startup page that will open every time that I open my browser. If you go to a lot of sites very frequently, you can enter in additional websites that will come up as the Chrome browser is opened every time you start a computing session. I'll put in Yahoo, and then underneath that I'll put in one more site. And even though I'm not supposed to be looking at this site during work, we'll put in there anyway. We have our 3 pages set, and we're going to use the current pages so that we now have we're going to choose set pages option. Set pages option allows you to go to a specific page, which is now Chrome, and can be changed if we like. We'll leave it at that for now. Or we can actually add additional pages of sites that we frequently use when we start up our machine. So let's put in Yahoo as an example of one, and we will also type in ESPN, or a site that I probably shouldn't be working on at work, and press OK. Now, with these 3 sites typed in, we can press OK, and they are now saved, so when the Chrome opens, those 3 sites should appear. Let's give it a test. We'll close out of the browser, restart Chrome, and you will see that each of the tabs that we told the browser to remember are now there and can be opened and played with as necessary. Let's go back to our settings menu for a moment. And you'll notice you're still signed in. You will stay signed into this account until you disconnect it from this particular setting. Now, for the sake of this demonstration, I'm actually going to go back and take off my set pages option here, and I'm going to close down these other sites that I don't necessarily want to go to, and we'll just stay with the main Chrome login page, which will actually change a little bit later on. All right, if we're moving down the page here, we have some other options, which are favorites for both students and the average browser alike, is to get a theme. If you click the Get Theme button, you're taken to the Chrome store, and you can pick from a variety of themes to backlight your browser. Now down here, we always want to show the home button, and the home button is essentially one button that will take us back to our main specific or startup page. We have one startup page right now, so by showing the home button up here, pressing that button will take us back to the main page. We also want to turn our bookmarks bar on. Bookmarks we'll setting up in a moment, and we need to make sure that we can see it in order for any of the options to show up. You could also set your search bar, your search engine, to any of the ones listed here, or add one as you see fit. One of the more popular ones to add is DuckDuckGo, which is a search engine that does not track any of your history. If you change any of these options and press done, now whenever you search in the Omnibox up top, you will be searching whatever search engine you selected from that menu. We're going to click on Show Advanced Settings and scroll down and make sure that Chrome is set as your default browser. This means that whenever the computer goes to open up a web-based utility, it will always open in Chrome. Keep sliding down to our downloads bar. And our downloads bar essentially tells the computer where anything you download from the web should go. For Windows, most of the time it's set up to go to the downloads folder, but I find it easier when I'm looking for something. I want to know where it is immediately, so I press the change and navigate around to and click on my desktop. What this does is now sends any file that is downloaded to the desktop where it's easily identified and put to use, and then it can be changed later on. Once you have these settings complete, we will move on to the next part of the setup, which will be setting up various pages and bookmarks. To get over to our main page, which has all of our different applications on it, let's go up and click on the waffle button to the top left to get back to our main drive page. Now here, what we want to do is we want to go to our Google Drive, which will take us to all of our documents that we have made or will be making down the road. If I click on the drive, you will see the main page, which I have a folder, and 5 simple lesson plans in there. This is the main page that we're going to be using, that I use. So what I like to do is I like to set this particular page as my home page. So now, if we remember how to do that, we can go back to our settings menu and open a specific page or set of pages. And I want to add the new page, but in this case, I can just press Use Current, and it will open up the tabs and drop them into these pages. I'm going to delete this bookmark and just go with the one. Now, my home page will be set to my drive. Another neat trick that you may want to try is going over to the tab in Chrome, right-clicking, and pressing Pin Tab. You'll notice the tab gets smaller and now cannot be X'd out accidentally when you're working in your browser. If you have multiple tabs open and by mistake click your drive, you'll have to go back in and find where you left off. This tab will stay pinned even if the browser is closed until you right-click and unpin it again. Now, let's talk about bookmarks. Bookmarks make it easy to get to websites you frequently visit without needing to type in all the addresses. However, the ability to organize these bookmarks is really what is key to making them functional and actually being used. If you have too many bookmarks and they're unorganized, they tend to just be clutter and are never really used. So we want to come up with a way to organize our bookmarks so that they can be found quickly and used effectively without slowing us down. One of the keys for efficient use of bookmarks is to group them together rather than just have them randomly placed across the bookmarks bar. Right now, I'd like you to take a second and write down a list of 3 to 5 websites related to school or work that you use on a regular basis. Once you complete this list, we will make a bookmark for each one. Okay, now that you have your list, follow along and create the bookmarks as I do. I'm gonna use a new tab, and in this new tab, I'm going to put the website of my school district. So we're going to put that in the bar, and we're going to go to that website. We'll keep this page open, go to another page, and now I want you to put in a second site that you commonly use for school or work. Continue doing this with a new tab until you have all 3 to 5 or however many bookmarks that you could think of for websites that you visit frequently. Search them, bring up each page, and now we have a total of 3 pages. Bookmarking sites is very easy. With the page selected, you can simply come up to the little star in the top right hand corner, click it, and it will ask you what you want to name each bookmark. I recommend that you keep these short and sweet so that you could see them in the browser. For example, if you look at the preview of this bookmark, the Bridgewater Raritan is cut off and you can't see the whole thing. So if I abbreviate that to BRRSD, it is a lot easier to see in my bar, as you'll notice. And underneath here, we don't have any folders created, so we're just going to put it in the bookmarks bar by default and press OK. You can now see that your BRRSD site is bookmarked. Let's move over to our other 2 sites and follow the same procedure. We now have our 3 bookmarks where we go each and every time, or most of the times when we log onto our computers, as well as our Drive tab open. Now, say we're working on a computer and we are working for a long period of time or a series of days or weeks, and we accumulate a lot of bookmarks that don't necessarily look any. Now that we have our various bookmarks selected and stored, we're going to want to organize them, because after a while, if you continuously put bookmarks into the bar, you're going to come away with a ton of bookmarks, and it's going to be very difficult to see which ones are where. To do so, we can very easily put them all into a folder that is categorized by the different pages we marked. If we right-click and somewhere in the empty bar, we can make an option to add a folder. This folder we'll call BRRSD work or school or whatever you want to call it. Pressing save, you'll now see a new folder appear in the bar. This folder can actually hold numerous bookmarks, and if you click and drag them over on top of the bookmark bar, on top of the folder in the bookmark bar, you've now just set those 3 bookmarks into this folder, where they are very neatly organized and easy to see what they represent. If you start by grouping together a bunch of various sites and put them into folders, it will be much easier to find sites that you need quickly and efficiently. Another very cool feature of Google Chrome is that once you're in your drive, you may get to a point where you have tons of different folders and documents and everything else, and it's difficult to find something quickly, especially if it's something you use on a daily basis. The neat thing about Chrome, being that it interacts so smoothly with the software suite, is we can create bookmarks and bookmark folders to sites on the web, but also documents within our drive itself. To do this is very similar to the bookmarks that we created. Let's go up to the browser and press New Add Folder. I'm going to name this folder Lesson Plans. Now I see that my Lesson Plans folder is here, and if we try to drag and drop the document on top, it doesn't work like that. So we still have to find a way to get these documents into the folder. So if we just close out these other settings for now and we open up the documents one by one, you'll notice the tabs come across the top. What we can do is bookmark these documents and direct them to go to the new file. So I'll say lesson plan, okay, bookmarks. We don't need that old Google Docs thing. We'll just say day 4, because we know that it's the 4th day of this lesson. You'll see it pop up in the bar, drag it over into your lesson plans, and repeat the process with the other 3 documents. And you'll notice that this one automatically dropped in because it assumed that that's where you wanted to put it. You can look underneath the name bar here and see that's putting it into the folder. And we'll continue along the way. So now, instead of looking for a lesson plan document that we need on a daily basis, we'll go to our pinned tab over here, open up our lesson plans, and there they are. Now mine are in reverse order, but you can also drag these up into the position you want so you could have them in order how you like. Next, very quickly, we will go over extensions in Chrome. If we go to our waffle menu and go to the web store, we're brought to a list of apps and extensions. We're going to explore extensions right now, which extend the capability of the browser by adding on unique tools. Apps are actual sites where are a little more program-based rather than extensions. Some extensions you can explore are for productivity for your workflow. I'm going to look for Gmail Checker and search and come across this one. You'll notice it's a productivity app and has over 9,000 5-star ratings. I'm going to add this to my Chrome account, and what you'll notice is as it installs itself, you may get a couple pop-ups and some icons up here in the window. This particular icon now is for your mail. If you click on it and sign in by just entering your password again, we'll be in our mail, and you'll see that you have a little gray box up there. What that does is alert you when you have a mail message. The message will come in, but instead of opening up a new web page, it'll give you a preview menu where you can read the summary, you can open up the entire article, you can go into your full Gmail page, or even compose a new message. A great add-on to speed up your email and check email without disturbing or changing your windows. Another great one we'll add is tab resize. For those of you not fortunate enough to work with a dual monitor screen, tab resize is a great app which allows you to split the tabs that you have open into equal windows on each side. So let's just open up 4 separate tabs here, and you'll see our new tab split icon. We'll click on it, We'll press I understand, and it actually lets you choose the setting you want. I'll click 2x2 and have now had all of my apps split across, or all my web pages, I should say, split across all 4 of the windows. Very useful, especially if you need multiple windows open at one time. You can configure each one of these to open 2, 3, or however many windows you want. To get our tabs back to a more traditional view, we can use another nice feature of Chrome, which allows us to take tabs from separate windows and actually combine them into one window to fit our needs of the workspace at that time. If you're working with a 2-monitor display, you can drag one of these tabs and simply move it over to another monitor and have 2 windows open simultaneously if you need. This video has only gone over some of the neat features that Google Chrome offers. We only went into apps or extensions a little bit and haven't covered apps yet. I would encourage you to go into the web store and browse around for anything you possibly think of that may help you. Some tips are to use the ratings to get higher quality apps, and if you're looking for specific extensions or apps, you can specify those filters right here to get a smaller result. Also, it's always good to go on the number of reviews that people have given to each of the products. Remember that some are made better than others, so playing around with each one is always recommended. And with that, we will wrap up this brief introduction to the Google Chrome browser. We have only gone over some of the many things that Chrome can do, so I encourage you to continue playing around the browser and click and right-click until you find the new hidden features for Chrome that can increase your own workflow and productivity. Also, make sure you take a look at the various apps, and when you download those apps, they will come up to your home screen here, which can be accessed from the Apps Waffle button. So look for those when you download them. Good luck, and I hope you enjoyed the video.